Hello and welcome to Brand X Reviews and Merry Christmas. We are now into December, so I think I can officially put up the tree anyway, so I thought I'd use this backdrop instead of the usual boring one with my DVD shelves. But anyway, today I'm going to be talking about some rumours, some very interesting rumours that have been coming out about the upcoming Star Wars film. Now, I don't usually get into rumours, but the source that these have come from does seem to be quite credible in the fact that it's one that I've been following, and also it does seem to tally with a lot of the stuff that's out there, and it also now tallies with the teaser trailer that we saw last week. And a lot of the stuff that this source had leaked previously was confirmed pretty much by the teaser trailer as well. So I trust this source, but I'm going to read the article out, and even the article itself does say take it with a pinch of salt because it's unconfirmed, but we think it's fairly credible. If it's not, this video will of course be interesting to watch to see how close we were to the truth, because there's a lot of stuff I'm going to cover in this, so you might want to pay attention to some of the stuff I'm saying because it is quite in depth. Now, if you don't want to know about the upcoming film, I suggest you don't watch this video because there's a lot of information in this that it says mega spoilers, and it kind of is, but it kind of alludes to other things as well, like characters getting killed off. So again, if you don't really want to know anything about it, don't watch this video, I'm warning you now. But the source on this one here is Galactic News One. You can see the actual, that's the website there. And the source that they have got this from is somebody that released a lot of concept artwork in the last couple of months. And this is all stuff that has been, I don't know if it's been confirmed as real, but it's the teaser trailer does seem to confirm some of it as well. So I'll read the article anyway. So it's galacticnews1.com, posted by Silent J on Tuesday the 2nd of December. Let me start off by saying that the following are rumours and should be treated as such. However, it comes from the same source that a while back released a ton of concept art from the film, which so far lines perfectly what we saw in the teaser last week. So this is what, in quotation marks, has come from their source. The film is dystopian and darker than Empire, that'd be Empire Strikes Back. Some 30 to 40 years have passed since Return of the Jedi, and the Empire and New Republic have been locked in a war of attrition. Everyone is languishing and sick of the war. The script, which is described as too good for J.J. Abrams, begins in space above a desert planet, presumably Tatooine. The opening crawl details the ongoing turmoil in the galaxy, how the fall of the Emperor left a void of power, and how the heroes of Endor went into seclusion or kept fighting. The current state of the war is described as being similar to the European theatre of 1944, with the Empire being Germany and the Republic being the Allies. The Republic has finally taken the upper hand. John Boyega and Daisy Ridley are the male and female leads. Boyega is a Force-sensitive stormtrooper under command of Gwendolyn Christie's character. He defects from the Empire over the course of the movie, ending up stranded on a planet presumed to be Tatooine during the first act. Having defied orders, Boyega is hunted as a deserter. Now, I'll just kind of add in there, Boyega is the first person that you saw in the teaser trailer, the black guy in the stormtrooper gear. So he's a deserter, that's what it's saying. Now, there is a bit of artwork there, that's his apparently deserted TIE fighter. But you can see this on the website. I will put a link to this at the Brand X Reviews this video. So that's a TIE fighter wreckage, possibly Boyega's, that was the image that we saw there. Gwendolyn Christie portrays an Inquisitor. The Inquisitors are a group of lightsaber-wielding individuals that may or may not be Force-sensitive and head up the Imperial Remnant. Inquisitors aren't Sith, but they are not Jedi either. They are hounds used to track down Force-sensitives, and they are implied to have assisted Vader's cleansing. Now it says Christie's Inquisitor here, so let's have a look at that. I'll get the pictures up. I could just edit these in afterwards. It's probably easier if I just kind of show you them here. So that's Christie's Inquisitor character. kind of like the Stormtroopers, so you kind of see what role they're now playing, kind of in following the fall of the Empire. And the Inquisitor's lightsaber, let's have a look at that as well. That is here. That's that. So you can see what that looks like as well. These are concept art pieces, and the stuff that's been released so far has been very accurate as well. So Daisy plays Kira, a character living on Tatooine with Max von Sydow's character. Kira is a dusty survivalist tomboy. Sidow is a broken man from the prequel era that has become mostly cyborg. He is not force sensitive and for some reason collects artifacts that we have seen at critical points during the previous films, particularly ones relating to the Jedi and Sith. Daisy shares his fascination with history, and she is revealed in Act 2 to be the daughter of Han and Leia. As someone with force sensitivity, she resents the fact that Luke went into exile before he could train her, and she hopes that the search for force-sensitive artifacts could lead her to him. She keeps her identity as a Solo under wraps in order to keep trouble away. And then it says Sidow's character examining Vader's helmet picture here, so let's have a look at that. Now, I did actually talk about this picture in a previous video that I did, and I kind of thought that it would be... I thought that it was going to be... let's get it on. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Luke Skywalker. When I showed you this picture, I thought that would be Luke Skywalker. I just kind of assumed because of the robotic hand. Well, apparently that is Max von Sydow's character. If you don't know who Max von Sydow is, he's a very old actor. He's been in a lot of films. Look him up. You will recognise him, I'm sure you will. So that's Max von Sydow examining Vader's helmet. It's a fairly famous picture that's been out. And here he is with Kira as well. That's the two of them together. And he wears a mask as well. He's fairly cyborg. Probably similar to Darth Vader in that he's got a lot of implants. Sydow is a sort of member to Kira, and apparently his true identity is an Act 3 revelation that will surprise a lot of people. The contention is that he is an existing character from the prequel films, and the revelation of his identity will shock viewers. And that's got me fairly interested in that, because there's quite a few characters that were in the prequels that he could have been, that he could be playing, so that's very interesting. Sydow's character is not overtly a villain, but has some sort of Sith connection. Sydow's hideaway is a downed AT-AT. Relics of the war are everywhere in the film. There is a real feeling that the entire galaxy is sick of the deadlock. And it shows a picture of the AT-AT, which we've seen before, but I will show you again. I'll just get it on. I'll just bear with me for a few seconds while I just kind of get that loaded up. Yeah, here we go. I'm just going to get it sideways. So that's the downed AT-AT picture as well. So again, you can see all these at the actual website, but I'm just kind of getting them on here so I can edit them into the video. I don't have to edit them in. The blue lightsaber in the above picture is apparently the same one Luke lost on Bespin in the Empire. I don't know if that means the lightsaber I showed you before, but that's the only lightsaber it's shown so far. The ball droid from the trailer belongs to Kira. So the droid that you saw kind of on a ball, that belongs to Kira. Which makes sense because that did appear to be on a desert planet, presumably Tatooine. It had that look to it. So again, this all kind of tallies with that. On the desert planet, again, presumably Tatooine, Boyega meets up with Daisy and Sydow. At the end of the first act, Han Solo and Chewbacca take them all off planet in the Millennium Falcon. Shortly after, we learn that Kira is Han and Leia's daughter. Again, she keeps her identity secret to avoid unwanted trouble. Kira's revelation dumbfounds Boyega and other people. Chewbacca's life debt extends to Han's whole family, and he is now sporting a robotic arm. And it'll show you a picture of that just so that you can get to see his arm there, like that. I haven't seen that picture before, actually. That's quite interesting. And I've just realised I've kind of skipped a little bit. Right, so Han takes a liking to Boyega. Throughout the film, he is in love with Boyega's decision to defy orders and ruin his career in the Imperial military. Han vouches for Boyega, having gone through something similar in his youth. At some point, Han says the familiar, "Hey, it's me," line. Someone, of course, says the classic, "I have a bad feeling about this." These are said to be the only self-referential smile while rolling our eyes lines of the film. I can picture that as well, because they kind of did that in the prequels. They kind of have like a bit of a nod to other lines from the original films. That's me saying that, by the way, I'm not reading off the article. When asked whether Han dies, Spoiler Man, that's the source of this, replied that he will not spoil the third act. This in and of itself does not reveal anything, but rather comes off as Spoiler Man being audacious, because answering that question is such a way would spoil the third act if it were true. This article's kind of got a few grammar issues, I think. Lando's Sullustan co-pilot from Return of the Jedi, Nien Nunb, makes a humorous appearance. So that's the guy that, when in Return of the Jedi in the Millennium Falcon, when they blow up the Death Star, he's the kind of weird sort of Mexican-looking alien thing. Not that Mexicans look like that, but the guy that's in it, the voice, the accent kind of thing. Lando is in the script and apparently has become famous. Okay, Luke Skywalker has secluded himself from the galaxy, training only a handful of students since his exile. He fears for his future as he comes closer to Yoda levels of power. He becomes more and more secluded. There are no Jedi out in the open, but rumours persist that Luke has trained a few since the events of Endor. Luke first appears in Act 2, a la Obi-Wan, dropping his hood in A New Hope. He survives the movie. Boyega and Daisy become Luke's new apprentices. Lupita Nyong'o is Luke's current apprentice and Boyega's eventual love interest. Luke exiled himself because of the ongoing war. With the galaxy in chaos, he had to ensure his safety so that a new generation could be trained. At least that's his contention. The fact that he continues to exclude himself despite his great powers indicates ulterior motive. Luke's rumoured location here, so let's have a look at that. It's kind of good. You can see the Millennium Falcon in this picture as well once it's bloody loaded up. It's a bit of a pain. Nope, that's the TIE Fighter from before. Nope, that's not it. That's the one. So that's Luke's current location. You can see the Millennium Falcon kind of to the side as well. I'll just shut these pictures down because they're getting in the way. So that's a bit about Luke Skywalker anyway. So only Han and Leia know where Luke is, a fact that we learn aboard a Mon Cal cruiser in the film's second act. Luke has grown a dislike to using his lightsaber, but apparently draws it late in the movie and showcases his abilities against an Inquisitor. It is still green. Luke speaks to Yoda's Force ghost in the film. Just as long as he don't bloody speak to Hayden Christensen. Luke has a reveal in the film which apparently is stunning. God knows what that is. Some of these are kind of like bulleted facts as well, so it doesn't kind of read continuously. Leia is the leader of the New Republic. R2D2 and C-3PO are with her during the film, and they are the only comic relief characters in the film. Carrie Fisher's real-life daughter Billy Lord plays Leia in a flashback sequence, which tallies with something I heard before, separately I think. Darth Vader appears in this flashback as well, which apparently takes place on Endor. Yavin is in the film, presumably as the Republic's base of operations. And then there's a picture, it says presumably Yavin here, so let's have a quick look at that if I can bloody get the thing working on my tablet. Where is it? Am I just... Sorry, it's a real pain, is this. So yeah, Yavin is the planet that you saw in... Yavin is the system. Yavin 4 was the actual planet that we saw in A New Hope, where the Rebel base was. So if we can open this in a new tab, this is what we are... this is what the writer of the article is presuming to be Yavin. This here. And you can see the Millennium Falcon. Interestingly, the radar dish on there is the old circular one, whereas the one in the trailer and in some of the other concept artwork, the radar dish is actually rectangular. So I don't know whether that's an early thing or whether that's something that gets replaced during the film. That's me kind of theorising a bit. The Republic is building a superior weapon on a Scandinavian-esque cold and forsaken forest world. Its ultimate purpose is unknown. The Han Solo archetype is split between Oscar Isaac and Domhnall Gleeson. Isaac is an ace pilot with the last name Darklighter, who's been fighting the Imperial forces for years now. He's a bit of a hotshot, so obviously he's going to have ties to, I think, Biggs from the original Star Wars film. He inherits the Millennium Falcon and is implied to be Kira's eventual love interest. Domhnall Gleeson plays a scoundrel of sorts. Adam Driver's character is an ambitious, Force-sensitive pilot who falls to the dark side. He is described as having a transformation that only begins in episode 7. He builds his own lightsaber, the one that we see in the trailer. It's referred to as a junk lightsaber, which is why it looks different from ones that we are familiar with. Because I thought it kind of looks a bit kind of Roman candle-like, the actual illumination of the blade. Doesn't look like a typical lightsaber. The decision to give his initial lightsaber a crossguard was apparently made wholly by the art department, so that's obviously a bit of kind of behind-the-scenes information there. The lightsaber battles are written by Kasdan to be minimalistic and powerful. Kasdan being Lawrence Kasdan, the guy who wrote Empire Strikes Back and is writing this one. That's one of the reasons why I'm quite optimistic about this film being good. Being written by the guy that wrote Empire Strikes Back. He also wrote The Bodyguard as well. It's quite a good film. Anyway, that's me saying that, not reading the article. Back to the article. Driver wears a mask because of half his face being cyborg. He goes looking for Andy Serkis's character on the aforementioned Scandinavian-esque forest world, as we see in the teaser. Driver's character here, so let's have a look at that. If I can get that on. Open a new tab. Where's the picture? Just got to wait for it to load. Andy Serkis is the name of the actor. He was, I think he did was it Smeagol or something in Lord of the Rings. I'm not really into stuff like that. Trying to open this. This is Driver's character. If I can get the bloody thing right, it's not working actually now, so I can't show you Driver's character unfortunately because my tablet's just cocked up. I don't think it's too important. Andy Serkis is some kind of alien Sith exempt from the rule of 2. He is implied to have existed for a long time, be very powerful, and is the speaker in the teaser, which has been confirmed as well in the last couple of days, I think. Serkis is implied to have trained or used Palpatine for some obscure purpose. Adam Driver receives or builds a new lightsaber after meeting with Serkis. The Sith are not aligned with the Empire. Serkis's goals differ from Palpatine's. Serkis does not play or replace Darth Plagueis. 99.9% of the EU, that means expanded universe, is disregarded. There is very much a sense of the old characters passing the torch to the new characters. So then it says the actors John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, Oscar Isaac, Domhnall Gleeson, Lupita Nyong'o, Chewbacca and the droids, presumably Sidal's character and Kira's ball droid, are the new Big Six. I don't know what that means. Adam Driver and Andy Serkis are Sith, and Gwendolyn Christie is an Imperial. Characters we still have no knowledge of are those played by Crystal Clark, Pip Anderson, Christina Chong, Miltos Yerramelu, I don't know if I pronounced that right, Greg Grunberg and Warwick Davis. I don't know if Warwick Davis is going to play the Ewok Wicket. That'd be quite interesting if he did. I don't know how that would work, but how that would fit in. Personally, I think all of this sounds great. Spoilerman, this is back on the article, Spoilerman has also indicated that in February everything he said will be confirmed and accompanied by many more spoilers. February is when the British folk who worked on the film will no longer have anything to do with it contractually, so information will likely come pouring in. He also indicated that the first trailer will be released on the 1st of May, but of that I'm doubtful. Isn't that ultimately Disney's decision? And then kind of goes on a little bit just to say, what do you think? Post comments. That's a very good article, is that, and it's a real good scoop by Galactic News 1, the website. Definitely recommend you check them out because they do other stuff as well. They talk about other things, not just Star Wars. Very good website, so I'll give them full credit. I will link them in the article where I post this video at Brandex Reviews. There's a lot of stuff in there, but so like I say, a lot of the sources that have got things out before, like concept artwork, have come through this website specifically, but come from the source that this website is referring to. And there's another website as well, I think it's Star Wars Underworld or something like that, and they post a lot of this stuff too. And a lot of it tallied, wasn't officially confirmed, but it was confirmed in things like the teaser trailer that we saw. Things like John Boyega being a deserter, so he's a force-sensitive stormtrooper. Can't because there've been a lot of questions about the stormtroopers as well, like what are they, like what role do they fulfill now that there's no Empire as such in the form that it was. There's also the question, well, underneath stormtroopers, shouldn't they all look like the guy that was the Jango Fett? Well, no, because those were in the prequels, and those were clones, and those clones were discontinued and would have just died of old age because they had an accelerated aging process as well. So they weren't around for a long time. Presumably by the original trilogy, they were no longer part of that. They died of old age and were at this point done by traditional soldiers just wearing stormtrooper gear. That's mainstream Star Wars knowledge, is that. So a lot of people have kind of been saying, well, shouldn't he look like the guy out of the prequels, the Jango Fett guy? It's like, no, for that reason. So that's kind of explains why John Boyega is wearing the stormtrooper gear, and where he's kind of looking around, because what was mentioned in this, that he crashes onto a desert planet, presumably Tatooine, from his TIE fighter, and that's kind of what you got a glimpse of in the teaser trailer. But anyway, I'm not really going to kind of go on any more from that. I hope that this video has been interesting for you, and like I say, do check out that website. I've just read the whole article there, so that's my thoughts on it as well. So I post this from the point of view of kind of talking about that, and maybe if you've got any other thoughts on this, or if you know any other information that you want to add to this, leave comments either on the YouTube page or at brandxreviews.com. And check back, because we will be following this as it develops. And as the article says, there's some thought that in February, when the people that worked in Britain on this, their contract ends, they're not going to be contractually tied into it anymore. So there's going to be a lot of people talking about this. And then there will be another trailer in May. I'm hearing rumours that it might be with Avengers Age of Ultron, which would make sense because they're all Disney owned. So, and of course, it's a big film as well, so it would make sense to do it before that, but that's way down the line yet, so we don't know. I'm just kind of theorising that there. But I'll leave it there anyway. I've rambled quite a bit, so as I say, the website is brandxreviews.com, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.